One, but it takes a second. I just hit it.
Tell me when they can see us, when the good folks can see us. Hi, good folks at TrentoVision. We're about to start on WNN, but we let you in early because we like you guys. But we're going to go right to breaking news here. Hi, Tom Trento here on Thursday, the 18th of April at 5:01 on the East Coast. And we are monitoring breaking news. The FBI is going to have a press conference, and all of you driving in your cars on WNN 1470, we're going to bring you the press conference. We'll be giving the commentary on it, telling you what's going on, plus our commentary and analysis on the Boston bombing. That's our show for today, the Boston Massacre. The Boston Massacre, the Marathon Massacre, as some people are calling it. Welcome to TrentoVision. You can watch our show on TrentoVision.tv. Very simple. You can watch it on your computer. You can watch it on your iPhones, your smartphones. You simply go to the search engine on whatever device you have, type in TrentoVision.tv, and you will get our show. It starts at 5:01 every day and ends at 5:59 every day. We're airing also on WNN 1470 on the 50,000 watt radio side. Right now, the briefing is being set up at the Sheraton down in Boston, but as I said, we'll bring you to that when that occurs. Hi, CJ. How are you?
Hi there. Hi, Tom.
Let's take a look at CJ.
A lot of research to do here.
It has been mind-boggling over the past couple of days. I think what we have, what's going on is the intersection of the gumshoe detective work.
Right.
For most of the history of the United States, you just get out and you track down leads and you follow up with that and you put them in a file and you interview people and all the gumshoe stuff. But over the past 10 years, with the advent of a computer, certainly forensic investigations were expedited and made more efficacious, easier to do and more successful. But with the unbelievable assault, if you will, the assault of social media. When I first got a cell phone, I think it was in 1986, there was like 5 people in the country that had cell phones, right? And then every year, you'd go somewhere and you see more cell phones. Now, 5-year-old kids have cell phones. Well, a cell phone is a phenomenal investigative tool on many levels. It's good news and bad news. What's happening right now in this investigation is we have 2 investigations going on. We have the gumshoes, the detectives, the traditional cops, FBI, and the CSI kind of people. Then we got regular people.
Like me.
Yeah, it's gumshoes versus Google. Anybody with a computer can Google something and find information out, and if they got a lot of time on their hands, they can start.
Didn't give me enough time.
Well, they can start tracking things down, and we're going to show our viewers and tell our listeners exactly how this occurred through our work over the past couple of days, where people launched on their own private investigations, and in one sense, it's a tremendous development that citizen watchdogs, citizen journalists, citizen activists can get involved, particularly when we have an administration like this that we do not trust when it comes to terrorism. We at the United West, we here at TrentoVision, we do not trust this administration when it comes to the issues of terrorism. We've seen too many failures, from the sad story of Charles Jacobs' movie,
Losing Our Sons.
Yeah, Losing Our Sons, with Melvin Bledsoe and Darius Long, and how the government.
Right, a drive-by shooting.
Yeah, how the government. Yeah, drive-by shooting.
Yeah, they called that a drive-by shooting, an active jihad against a serving soldier
in uniform at a recruiting station.
At a recruiting station.
Yeah, and the Department of Defense, through the direction of the Department of Justice, classified that. No, you got to leave that on.
Yeah.
Classified that as drive-by shooting.
A
as
drive-by
opposed to
shooting.
a
Well, that's okay because Fort Hood was workplace violence.
Fort Hood was workplace violence.
Right. And
32 people shot, 13 killed.
+1.
Yeah, and it's still being litigated. So we have learned to not trust the administration.
Yeah,
We-
especially this week.
Yeah, especially this week.
Good grief. What is going on behind closed doors at the White House with Obama and Kerry
Oh, meeting with the Saudis?
and meeting with the Saudis?
Hey, we need their oil. They can tell us whatever they want to
Photo
tell
op
us.
canceled. Meeting closed at the last minute to the press. Why?
Oh, I don't know. Maybe because a member of a elite Saudi family was implicated in the Boston massacre as a possible person of interest.
Oh no, but he was ruled out so fast.
Oh, he was cleared very
He
quickly.
was cleared like that. I mean, you couldn't read his Facebook page in the amount of time that it took to clear him.
And we're going to tell you all about this young guy who he's a member of a very high-level Saudi family, and the Saudi family has documented ties to Al-Qaeda, and he was immediately scooped up because he was at the Boston Marathon, and he was investigated, and then at the same time, as CJ just said, we have all this dancing around at the White House with Secretary of State John Kerry and President Barack Obama with the foreign minister from Saudi Arabia. And guess what the next thing we know is?
Oh, suddenly
Young
the kid
Abdullah,
is being deported
he's being deported.
voluntarily.
He's being voluntarily deported
Right.
for national security reasons.
Right.
Somebody explain that sentence to me.
Yeah.
You're voluntarily deported for national security. How do you, that's like that's like hesitatingly volunteering. You know, voluntarily being deported.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I volunteer to be deported.
Yeah, I volunteered to let you throw me out of the country.
Right.
Though I have nothing to do with being deported, I volunteer
Right.
for you to be able to deport. All right, so that's a strange development, and that may be the headline for today's show, the Saudi involvement in this White House. Now, in full disclosure and complete fairness, George Bush fumbled the Saudi ball in the second half of his administration.
Every single administration does.
Yeah.
Every single Carter,
Yep. And
Bush one, Reagan,
going back through administrations,
Clinton.
we helped them find oil, and then we helped them not only find it, we helped them to mine the oil, to drill the oil, pull the oil out, and we let them keep a bunch of it. And they bought Ferraris and Bentleys and, you know, hotels in Monaco and all of that craziness. So we got this Faustian deal with the Saudis where we'll protect you because you're big, fat, and rich slobs. We'll protect you from all the people that want to eat you.
Right. And there's
And
lots of them
there's a
lining
lot
up
of them,
right
yeah.
now.
And you keep giving us oil.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
Because we're not allowed to drill for our own oil
Yeah, that's part of the problem.
in our own country or offshore,
Unbelievable.
which is ridiculous.
All right, so at 9 minutes past 5 o'clock, our show today is on the Boston Massacre, the Marathon Massacre. And we've been hitting on this since Monday when it occurred. Today is Thursday, the 18th.
I don't know if 3 deaths is a massacre.
Yeah, well, 100 and something, 50 people, limbs gone, people injured. There is psychological damage. But that's another talking point I have here.
Yeah.
I wanted to lay out on TrentoVision today on WNN 1470. Somebody checking NN's audio quality, good. iHeart, good. TrentoVision, do we know anybody watching TrentoVision, chatting with the chatters? The
I am watching TrentoVision.
And Tea Party community, hi Tim Saletti and all you Tea Party folks out there. Wonderful piece you guys put out. I think on Monday you put it out, recognizing the assault in Boston and standing solidly with the Bostonians. So good work for sure. Let me see, that goes there. Can somebody hear that? Yeah, I think so.
I can.
Yes, you can, because I have it on now. It's
Yeah.
on. Let's see what that says. Almost part of ID. Oh. Okay, I'm getting, as I said, I think on Monday or Tuesday, this phone and this computer, if they were automobiles, they would be running at about 10,000 RPMs. Here, just almost positive ID on, and then name is given with Saudi connections. So we have researchers right now working on a lot of stuff. Okay, please look at it. I just got an email that says, "Damn it! Please look at your emails." Okay, I'll stop.
Yeah,
everything.
let's stop the show so you can
Let me
read
take
your
a look at the
emails.
emails. They may
No,
be-
you will not do
No,
that.
I do it anyway.
Yeah.
They may be important actually, because this particular source has been providing some phenomenal information. And what I said at the outset, we're waiting now for the FBI news conference. What I said at the outset was, we're in this world, this strange world now, stuck between gumshoe forensic investigations and Google forensic investigations, where anybody can do, I mean, the kind of work an average citizen with half a brain can do today with a computer sitting in their kitchen sipping coffee. It's 10 times more than the detectives 25 years ago.
Well, it
could do in
takes
a week.
Yeah.
I mean,
It
it's
takes less
amazing.
time, but then you're cooking bombs in your kitchen too.
Well,
So
the whole thing
yeah.
evolves or devolves, as the case may be.
Yeah.
But the problem is, now you got all these citizen investigators out there, and they don't want to follow the traditional timeline of gumshoe detective work, which is slow, which is methodic, which is careful, and you keep everything to the vest. You don't want the bad guys running out of town. But this thing was so bungled, this investigation, and it isn't necessarily because of the fault of the investigators. It's just that there's too many cell phone cameras, too much data, too much intelligence out there. You can't contain 25,000 cameras all taking pictures and
That's
people
right.
that see things.
That's right.
So as much as the law enforcement community wanted to contain the two faces that I'm going to show you right now, they simply were not able to. Don't come here yet, Mike. Let's see. Okay, come
Well,
to my
look,
screen
put it
now.
this way. If our government is covering up and whisking people out of the country like they did after 9/11, okay,
Yes.
you can't cover it up now.
No.
You can't cover
Oh,
it
no,
up this
it's
time.
very hard.
Too many people have pictures of these guys.
Yes.
Too many people had contact with these guys, and too many people know. And nobody keeps quiet anymore. Everything is out in the public. The pictures are out in the public. The Twitters are out in the public. The Facebooks are out in the public. They're screen saved. Forget about it. You can't cover this up. This ain't Benghazi, folks.
No. it's
This is
different. It's a
Boston.
different world. Yep. From Benghazi to Boston. That's I like that. And the Western jihadis, and we've been detailing the ideology of Al-Qaeda. Al-Qaeda means the base. It was started in the late 80s by Osama bin Laden. And he wanted to have a base of mujahideen, a base of holy warriors, from which to launch the attacks to establish a global caliphate and then implement Sharia law and then accomplish Allah's vision of what it means to be a Muslim. So Al-Qaeda is the base, and he's going back and forth.
Okay.
And we've been following Inspire magazine, which is inspiring the Western jihadis to become independent jihadis, sort of like you run your own lemonade stand. Well, in Islam, you run your own terrorism campaign. Problem is, the Western jihadis, for the most part, all the ones that have been caught so far,
Mm-hmm.
they like Facebook. they like Twitter. They like social media. They
Of course.
use it
Yeah.
because that's how they stay in touch with some of their people through some of the jihadi networks. So once you're out on Facebook, you're in the public eye.
Yeah.
You're out there somewhere. There's a picture of you somewhere. There's words you've said somehow. So you're going to be seen. You're going to be found. Case in point, come to my screen, Mike. Yesterday, the FBI announced that there were 2 people they were looking for. These are the 2 people right there on our screen. We got a copy of the picture. How? We are super sleuthing.
Yeah.
It was all over the internet.
It was all over the
picture,
internet.
okay?
Thank you, Waleed Shubat.
Yeah, and he got it from I think Jones, who got it from somebody else.
Right.
So, but these are the 2 Muslim kids. We know they're Muslims because we know who they are now, basically. And on the right of your screen right, is a young guy with a white hat, sunglasses on top, looking off. They're standing in the crowd at the Boston Marathon. And on the left is a young guy, a blue sports jacket, like a Nike type of jacket. And the FBI was looking for these people, but they didn't want, they initially called for and asked for the help of everyone to help them identify information and pictures and all of that. Then about day 2 and a half, they said, okay, we have 2 people of interest we want to talk to, but they handed this picture out that you just saw to law enforcement agencies, not to the general public.
Right.
Part of I don't know, why do you think not to the general public? Now it's out on the internet, right?
Right.
But somebody said, okay, it's out on the internet. Let's tell everyone we're looking for. Don't show them the picture, but let's just give it to law enforcement. Why? What sense does that make?
It doesn't. To me.
No, it's like, let's ring the bell, and then after the bell's been rung,
No, they want to unring
let's
the bell.
tell everybody the bell hasn't been rung yet,
Yeah.
and we'll ring it tomorrow, but tell the law enforcement people the bell has been rung.
Right.
Pictures are out there. So the New York Post last night published this picture, a similar picture of these 2 guys. And a lot of people got upset. What are you doing? The picture's out there, folks. So we looked at it, and we put out an email today. Come to my screen, Mike. I'm showing you the process, and we are waiting for the press conference that's going to take place downtown Boston at the Sheraton Hotel. But we put out an email this morning. Once I saw that the picture was in
The public domain.
the public domain in a New York newspaper,
Yeah, this is not classified information
No.
or anything.
we said, all right, let's get the word out. Update on the Boston massacre. And this is our email that we send out to thousands of people every day. Hey, Mohammed and Mohammed. We took a wild guess that these 2 guys were Muslims.
What would make you say that?
Oh, you're back. Where have you been, Abdul?
Oh, I have been all traveling around. I packed a camel, go on a trip here, a trip there. I miss you.
We missed you too.
I miss you, little CJ.
Well, in our
I am winking at you.
in our non-politically correct approach to life, when you do the kind of work we do, not only can you get pretty good at profiling people, but you can almost pick sort of the region of the country they come from. Just like with me, people think, well, you're either Italian, you're Jewish, or you're Greek, and they're pretty close because I'm all of this. I mean, you could.
You're Jewish?
If you see a guy that has slanty eyes, right, you kind of can guess where he's coming from.
Why you talk like that? You're racist.
But
You
when we
Trento.
looked at these pictures, we said those are probably Muslim guys. So facetiously, we said, okay, Mohammed and Mohammed. And part of the narrative of the reason for the investigation, you can see in the pictures again, Mike, come back to these pictures that are on our email. On the left are the 2 Muslim guys with a backpack. On the right, the guy in the black who was carrying the big black backpack doesn't seem to be carrying it, bag, no bag. So all we said was, hey, Mohammed, call the FBI or be at the mercy of angry Americans. If you guys are not guilty, and this happens all the time, again, growing up as the Sicilian guy in New Jersey, if you're always, everybody thinks Who what?
The press conference just started.
Oh, press conference just started. All right, let's see what's going on. We'll monitor that. You guys read that? Can somebody read that?
Not really.
I can read it pretty well. But right now they're doing the preliminary, hello everybody, we're wonderful law enforcement agents.
Yeah, and we're here to tell you nothing.
Yeah, when it gets down to the serious intelligence that's being communicated, then we will. I guess we can go to the audio on that, right? That camera will pick up audio or no? Probably not.
Or Mike.
No, yeah. No, I'll just explain what it is.
Mike over there.
Yeah, see if that works. Yeah, play it like that, Mike. And if you're watching TrentoVision, right now we have a split screen, and you can actually see the press conference. We have CNN on. We like to get their spin once in a while on things.
And it is.
Yeah. So going back to this other screen for a second, Mike. We told these two guys, look, you're young Muslims, you're on the net somewhere. All right, go. Come back to the picture. All right, now these are the people that they're looking for. Now we're seeing real live pictures of people of interest of the FBI's.
The second explosion just in front of the
Got
Forum
it?
restaurant. We strongly encourage those who were at the Forum restaurant who have not contacted us yet to do so. As you can see from one of the images, suspects 1 and 2 appear to be walking together through the marathon crowd on Boylston Street in the direction of the finish line. That image was captured as they walked on Boylston in the vicinity of the intersection with
We're setting
Gloucester
up
Street.
the audio for this, but they're
As you
showing
can see, the
pictures.
quality of the photos is quite good, but we will continue to work on developing additional images to improve their identification
Okay,
value.
the FBI learned a big lesson.
Further, on FBI.gov, we have photos of the suspects. The photos and videos are posted for the public and media to
All right,
use,
let's get there.
review, and publicize.
FBI.gov. That's gonna.
For
No,
clarity,
they gotta hurry,
these
or it's gonna
images should be
crash.
The only ones, I emphasize the only ones, that the public should view to assist us.
Aha. Ignore those other pictures.
Server too busy.
Yeah.
And necessarily divert the public's attention in the wrong direction and create undue work for vital law enforcement resources.
Okay.
They don't
No
want
audio there?
anybody.
All right, let me tell you what's going on.
Those pictures that they showed are not the same pictures of the two guys
No.
that you're showing, and
Right.
they're telling us in this press conference, ignore all those other pictures. We're just looking for these guys.
Well, yeah. And
That
when you-
is nonsense.
Well, these guys here, the guys on my screen right now, Mike, come back to my screen. The guys on my screen that they were looking for, because these were the pictures that were leaked that the New York Post got their hands on, that we put out this morning. When I put this email out this morning, hey guys, call the FBI or you're going to be at the mercy of some very angry Americans because your picture's all over the place. And then we put out BOLO, be on the lookout, find these guys, call the police if you find them, don't engage them if they're the bombers, they could be armed and dangerous. So what we did today was to assist the investigative process by telling people out there to start looking for what's going on. And as a, not as a result of this, but overnight, and as soon as I put that email out, one of our sources contacted me and said, "We have this for you," and come to my screen. The young guy that was pictured in the picture on the New York Post,
The one wearing the warm-up jacket.
yeah, Salah Basari, and here he is. Stay on my screen. Watch this. This is him taking a picture of himself at the Boston Marathon. All his friends. We actually had folks involved in a conversation or monitoring, watching a conversation he was having with his friends last night on Facebook.
Right.
And they're telling him, dude, go turn yourself in. You didn't do anything.
Right.
And from what we understand, he did, and he has been cleared. So somebody that looked like a person of interest went through the process, has been cleared. We heard the same thing for the other guy that was with him in at the race. Those two guys.
The one in the white cap.
Yeah, come back to my screen. Those guys have been cleared. They were people of interest. Now the FBI learned a big lesson. And the lesson they just learned at 25 minutes past 5 o'clock, and they're showing more of the people. Put the split screen on, Mike, so the people watching TrentoVision can see what the FBI is showing right now and read the captions while we're commenting on it. Well, the FBI learned is we can't keep the social media genie in the bottle when you got so many people out there that have computers and Google. And I'll tell you today, and I studied all this stuff, this law enforcement and
Yeah,
criminology.
but that was in gumshoe times.
That was in gumshoe time. I'll tell you today, there's been a paradigm shift in the United States in terms of how you conduct forensic investigations, particularly on a mass scale like this, which is a soft target, identified by Al-Qaeda as a soft target, with massive amounts of people, stuff the Israelis have been doing for 10 years. There's
Longer.
a paradigm shift now where the public are going to be brought early on into the operation. And the FBI, the CIA, well, the CIA is supposed to be outside the country, but they're working inside with this kind of stuff. FBI, CIA, ATF, Alcohol, Firearms, and Tobacco, JTTF, Joint Terrorism Task Force, state police, municipal police, on and on and on and on. Homeland Security, DHS, ICE, immigration, and
ICE does nothing.
all of these agencies since 9/11 now work in what's called fusion centers. They're supposed to. There are 7 fusion centers in the state of Florida, and all the data on a daily basis fuses together at one center and then is analyzed through algorithms and analysts and sent out to the guys on the beat. Be on the lookout for, or look into this, look into that. This is going to change now in these spectacular events. And though there weren't thousands killed or hundreds killed, this is a spectacular event. Why? Why would we classify the bombing in Boston as spectacular is an Al-Qaeda term for a particular reason. Why would they classify Boston as a spectacular?
Because it was major event, very important day, very important city. Stuff we love to
an
do.
act of terrorism on U.S. soil.
And it was Patriots Day. What better than to bomb you on Patriots Day, you
But the
bastards.
big issue for spectacular is the number of eyes that see it when it happens. And this was the airplanes going into the World Trade Center. 4 events, one after another. Global media. Same thing with this. There was global media, and the timing of the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I mean, the whole thing was well orchestrated. If it was an Al-Qaeda event, which we think it is. Al-Qaeda inspired.
Islamophobe.
Yes, I know. So the FBI right now is saying, right now the FBI is saying, okay, we give up. We need your help, folks.
We need your help, but of course our server is too
Yeah,
busy.
go to our server.
Yeah.
It's the sequester.
Oh, there you have it.
They don't have enough RAM. Let's on TrentoVision today. We're going to start a fund for the Federal Bureau of Investigation.
I can't believe this.
I think we need to do that. I think we need.
I
to
mean,
start,
what if you really did have a tip? You couldn't reach them. They don't answer the phone.
No, they don't. They do not answer the phone.
And you can't get through to their
need-
website. So if you actually did have a tip for the FBI or you needed to report something,
Well,
You
we
could
have
write
our
them a
ways.
letter.
We have our ways. We can reach them pretty quickly if we needed to. But server too busy. Mike, come to my screen. Okay, see what it says right there? I'm trying to reach the FBI right now. FBI.gov, server too busy.
yeah, now I'm
Um,
getting an error when I try to go.
Maybe they have been hacked.
Now, that would be very interesting. But when we went to TrentoVision and all of that, we upgraded our servers. We knew there'd be a lot of people watching all of this stuff. And, we don't have...
We don't need to brag about our technology.
No,
let's put it that way.
but you would think that they would know, hey, boss, why don't you tell everybody in the world to come to our site? It's going to be a lot of people coming. Shouldn't we plan for that? Well, we would, son, but the sequester cut the budget.
Sequestration.
Yes. All right. So what do we see? You're a former FBI agent. Now we're getting some analysis from former assistant director at the FBI. Let me see. There are millions of people watching this worldwide, he's saying, and the FBI is reaching out to get millions of people. This is you remember in the cowboy days when the sheriff would go running around town, what would he pull together?
A posse.
Posse.
A posse.
Not a lynch
Posse
mob,
together.
a posse. So how do you do that? How'd you do that in the cowboy days?
You pay for the horse's food.
You just deputize someone.
Let's go, man. You swear to God that you'll shoot the bad guy or whatever. Yeah, here's a gun. Let's
You
go. Get your gun,
deputize
get your horse, you
everybody.
deputize.
Yeah.
And you go out and you help law enforcement find the bad guys. Well, we now have, this is the paradigm shift that we're in, the world of digital posses. And there are, wannabe detectives and investigators all over the place that are living on Obama dollars.
That'd
at
be
home.
a great name for a band, a digital posse.
The digital posse. And people at home, and there are thousands, there's zillions of videos and everything. But that's what's needed. And people will cull through all of that. And then now
Everybody wants to look and see, do I know these guys?
Yeah,
Do I
exactly.
know them? Did I see them? Were they at Starbucks with me this morning?
let's take a little different tack. So the FBI, the headline folks, I just heard myself. The headline folks on the FBI's press conference being held right now at the Sheraton Hotel in downtown Boston. The headline is, "We need help, America, help us. We need a digital posse. We're going to deputize you guys. You don't get a gun. You don't get a badge. You get a Google.
Do you get an Obama phone?
You maybe. If you find the bad guys, you get an Obama phone. You get you're Googleized. You get Googleized. That's what it is. Help us find these people in these pictures, and we'll put it on the website that you can't get to, but help us do it." They're rolling a lot of video, so
They're rolling the same video over and
Yeah.
over is what they're doing.
it looks like those guys in the brown pants, the guys that look like contractors.
That's what I said. Those guys have an air about them that is very.
Yeah, but they were too obvious. They can't be looking.
That's not true.
Let me ask this astute forensic crew a question. Then we're going to shift to Saudi Arabia for a minute. God forbid, and may the creek rise, that you guys were the bad guys, the perpetrators, and you have access to computers and to televisions and to all of the media, and you go, uh-oh, the FBI, that's me, and the FBI wants everybody to find me. What do you do?
Change the way I look.
Put on burqa?
You go underground.
Go underground.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
I'd lose my cell phone. I would lose the clothes. I'd burn them. I'd take off, get out of town, sell, pawn, whatever.
You have to get out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get out.
How are you going to get out of town? Let's just track somebody leaving. You think they're from the Boston area?
Yeah.
Perpetrators?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think so? Why?
I would think
Well,
not.
I don't.
Manner
I
of
would
dress.
think visiting, temporarily visiting, because if I was going to do something in a city, I wouldn't want to have 10,000 people that are used to seeing my face every day.
Yeah, you don't want to blow up the city you live in. That's a little too close to home.
Well, but you want to have friends there.
Absolutely. You might want to have,
You wanna have
a
associates.
cooperator, a collaborator, shall you say.
A collaborator, maybe.
Oh, yeah, there's probably, then
You know.
would you look at an Islamic center by any chance?
Oh, absolutely.
You mean a mosque?
Ooh. All right, but let's say we'll go both ways. Let's say you live there, and you've had this very underground. You've been at McDonald's, working at McDonald's for 2 years while you're planning all of this. Now you got to get the hell out of Dodge.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you would have planned your your exit strategy before you
Stockpile
perpetrate-
chicken McNuggets.
Right.
And where are you going? And how quickly are you going? They shut Logan down immediately. As soon as this happened, Logan
Well,
was
you're
shut
not
down.
flying out because you have to show all kinds of identification to do that. And you can't buy a ticket.
All right, so You drive your car?
So, no, you don't drive your own car. You drive like a dummy car or a stolen car or something that gets you over the state lines
Like
or
Tim
something
McVeigh
like
did. He
that.
took a stolen car.
Yeah,
And,
and then just
the
change.
license
and,
plate was hanging, and the state trooper pulled him over.
and then you get on. Like buses and things that you can pay cash for, and blend in.
Okay, well, where do you go in the United States? Everybody sees your picture now.
Well, you're trying to get out of the country.
Gotta go up into
eventually,
the
I would
mountains
think.
somewhere. Survival style.
So if you're a Muslim, you're gonna go. You got to do survival.
What I
You
would
ever seen
do.
First Blood? It'd be like that.
No, because those guys don't roll like that. They need to get to Mexico.
I would put on burqa, paint my camel different color, and no one would notice
Nobody
me.
would know a thing. It
Everybody,
ain't that easy
All-
getting out of Dodge. Man.
all
Let me
you
tell
Border Patrol citizens in Arizona
Yep.
and Texas, keep on the lookout for those guys.
Wow, they really. And that one guy is very white looking. A couple of Muslim type looking guys. One guy is very white looking.
Yes,
up
and
Well,
I
from
know
there, Canada
everybody at MSNBC is really, really,
Praying.
really hoping that
It's a
the
white
white guy
guy.
did it.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot easier to get to Canada than
Yeah.
to Mexico. You know, there is a vibrant Muslim community in Canada, as you well know.
Yeah, absolutely, except for
Let me show you
it's
this.
too much like the United States.
No, but if you just want to get out of the country, Boston to
Yeah,
Canada
but
is
you
a heck of a
still
lot
have
easier.
to get out of Canada. You can't stay in Canada. If you go to Mexico,
You
then
could go to
can
York
get
University. You could go hang out at York
Back,
University.
then
Well,
you
no,
can go back. Then you can
if you
go
have a
back
if-
to wherever you came from or wherever you're hoping to go to do your next training or something like
If
that.
if this is Muslim generated, and you're a Muslim, you certainly don't want to go anywhere where you got to show a passport. I guarantee every Muslim passport on our borders is going into a database, and they're
Yeah,
figuring
but I
out
don't
where
know
these
if
guys
you've
live.
noticed this, but as I've been Googling all the possible names linked to all the possible names linked
See?
to
You've been
everything
Googleized.
else. Okay. Everybody has the same last name. That's
And
why
the same
that's
first name.
why that's why there's so many innocent people on the do not fly list.
All right, come to my screen. Let me show you. I'm going to jump ahead a little bit. This occurred today. There was this morning an interfaith healing service at the Cathedral of the Holy Cross in Boston.
That is so revolting.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
For Muslim Americans, Boston bombers bring added anxiety. So already, we don't even know if this is Islamic generated, though we lean that way because of the metrics and the data.
It doesn't matter. CARE put out a statement the day that it happened.
What they say.
That they feared a Muslim backlash in the anti-Muslim backlash in the United
That
States.
would be terrible.
Whether or not it turned out to be that Muslims had anything to do with the bombings was irrelevant. Just the fact that there were bombings made Muslims in the United States fearful of a backlash. Immediately, they put out this
Of
statement,
course.
and
It's
they
the
do this
victimization.
all the time, and it's been proven, especially since 9/11, that there has been absolutely no anti-Muslim backlash of any kind in this country.
Oh, that is not true.
No attacks on Muslims, no discrimination against Muslims. All of this is completely false.
But we are fearful. It
Non-existent.
could happen, and that is what makes us scared.
Brings added anxiety.
Absolutely.
So what does that mean?
It makes us very uncomfortable. The
All right.
possibility exists.
We just found out that our good friends over at Tea Party Community, their website is down. So they're working on it. So Tea Party Community, if any of you are listening on iHeartRadio or WNN Radio or TrentoVision, watching on TrentoVision.tv, contact your Tea Party Community friends. Tell them to come over to TrentoVision.tv so they can watch the rest of the show. 5:40, 40 minutes after 5 o'clock on the East Coast. This is important. Take a look back at this screen. One of the civilization jihad dawah teaching dynamics is occurring right now on this page right in front of you. And it's a headline off of, I think, ABC News. ABC News. Muslim Americans, 4 Muslim Americans, the Boston bombings bring added anxiety. You know, now there's anxiety from, why would there be added anxiety? We don't know who did this. And everybody's saying,
Because they'll get blamed for it no matter what.
well, the mainstream news people are tripping over themselves to come up with explaining dark-skinned Middle Eastern people without using those terms.
Right.
Not light-skinned people who may not live in Europe, but maybe about 600 miles south of. They're twisting themselves into pretzels to say, guy looks like a Muslim. They can't say that, right?
Racist.
Yeah. Well, on Monday afternoon, as word spread, who do you think is going to be in the center of this? Who do we know that will exploit the sensitivity of the moment to engender and endear sympathy toward Islam? Who's been involved in the the mosque in New York?
Imam Raouf.
Yeah, and his little wife.
Daisy Khan.
Daisy's in the center of this. Listen to this. On Monday afternoon, as word spread that 2 bombs have been detonated at the finish line, Imam Ibrahim Rahim found himself alone at the Yusuf Mosque on Boston's Chestnut Hill Avenue. First, he offered prayer for the victims. Then he said, "Dear Lord, please, whatever this yields, let it not be something that can be in any way associated with Islam." He's even nervous that it's going to be Islam. In New York at the same time, Daisy Khan. Now, for our viewers and listeners, anybody want to tell?
Park 51, the mega mosque at Ground Zero.
She is the wife of Imam Raouf. Fazl Raouf. What's his first name?
Imam
Raouf. Fazi Raouf. Raouf is his last name.
Fazil.
Yeah.
Faisal?
Faisal. Yeah. Faisal Raouf. And Daisy popped up in the Pamela Geller deal because her uncle is
Daisy's
one of the
uncle.
co-founders of the Islamic Center.
Farouk Khan, I think his name was, right? Yeah, one of the principals at the Islamic Center of Long Island. So Daisy popped up in the discussion with Pamela Geller last week, and now Daisy is quoted here saying she's the director of American Society of Muslim Advancement. She had a similar thought, and she reduced it to less than 140 characters. Hashtag, I hope it's not a Muslim. That's what
I'm sure she
That
does
is
hope it's
so
not a Muslim.
icky.
That's what she tweeted.
It sounds like she really cares about the victims, right?
Yeah.
She's really concerned about the victims, not the perception of Muslims. God forbid it's a Muslim. It really shows you where her sympathies lie.
She said if a Muslim did this, it will set the Muslim community back a decade. She said it will
Well, considering that they themselves are trying to set the Muslim community back about 1,400 years, I don't think it's such a big deal to go back 10.
She said that it will feed the perception that Muslims are terrorists. Children are more likely to be bullied at school. Individuals at work will be treated with suspicion by their co-workers.
As they should be.
Islamophobe.
Well, no, if they're
Sharia compliant
yeah, I mean
employees, then they should be regarded with suspicion. I'm sorry.
Yes, absolutely, and we've said that. And Sharia compliant.
And that's why we're so suspicious of you.
I cannot blame you. You know what also is you have that Roxbury Mosque, which is not too far from Boston, which is one of the top 10 radical mosques in the entire nation.
Yes, we know.
Yeah.
I mean, that is real close proximity, and to me, it's speaking as me. And
wow, come to the screen. Excuse me, come to the screen. The FBI is actually doing diagrammas here. Look at this. They're showing the particular backpack that this one...
you might want to refresh your FBI screen because I got them now.
Oh, you got them?
Yeah.
Let me get to the FBI.
What'd it say? Thanks, but no thanks?
It's pretty crappy pictures they put up, though.
Let's see if we can get there. Nope, too busy. Your little goofy machine got there before my super-powered red computer here. How'd that
Yeah,
happen?
I don't know. It was an accident.
All right, let's introduce the Saudi component into this. This is really frightening at 45 minutes past 5 o'clock. Oh, this isn't the FBI. This is Wolf Blitzer or somebody, some analyst, drawing with his finger on the screen.
Pretty pictures.
Yes, and showing how
How a pressure cooker would fit in and out
Right in
of
there,
this
yeah.
size.
and I want to read the whole deal.
Do you
It should be
mean
interesting.
Wolf? It must be a Tea Party taxation blitzer. It must have been a Tea Party or blitzer.
Yes. Yeah, they are checking marathon the calls from the marathon. All right. Well, here's a little something that I think would be good to show you right now. You have Janet Napolitano queued up.
Give me one sec.
We want to give you a little insight into.
Yeah, I want to get that picture from the hospital up too.
Yeah, we want to give you a little insight into some of the congressional leaders, the good guys in Congress. This particular one, Jeff Duncan out of South Carolina. I met him when we spoke out there back in January. He's going to be a star, this guy. He was questioning the head of the DHS, Department of Homeland Security, Sister Napolitano. He was questioning her today about a Saudi connection, and he was informed that the Saudis. Well, I'll let you. What am I looking at? What are you sending me, Dave? That's a picture. Yeah. Okay. Let's roll Janet and listen to this conversation. Then we're going to weave in the Saudi connection. It's not a good thing.
Appreciate that. Let's shift gears a little bit because I'm very concerned about this person of interest that was detained at the hospital in Boston following the Marathon Madness. He is, I believe, scheduled to be deported next week, and now I understand he's been cleared of any wrongdoing in the involvement.
Well, we can restart it. Just stop it and restart it.
Due to national security concerns, and
We don't have the audio up on that? Mike, he's calling. We're trying to get Janet Napolitano on, but she's being a little feisty, Janet is. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And what you're going to see
She
right
doesn't like
now,
to be questioned.
you're going to see a short interview with Napolitano and Jeff Duncan, Congressman Duncan out of South Carolina. He's questioning her on intelligence that he received, and he's a congressman. He gets information. And it simply said that you have his name, CJ, the gentleman we're talking about?
Abdul Rahman Ali Al-Harbi.
That's a mouthful. Abdul Rahman Ali Al-Harbi.
Yeah.
Mike, if you can come to my screen, we'll show you a picture of the young man in question. His name is, say it again, CJ.
Abdul Rahman Ali Al-Harbi.
There he is, right there. Abdul Rahman Ali Al-Harbi.
Yeah.
Smiling. He's in a Boston hospital for something.
Yeah.
He's smiling and having a good old time. He had
Treated
an
for
IV.
burns that he got from being right next to one of the bombs that went off, right?
Coincidence.
So he's being treated for burns. He was close by to one of the bombs.
Yeah.
And turns out that his family is an elite member family of the clan of Saudi Arabia. And his family members are known associates, connections with Al-Qaeda.
Right.
All right. Now, Jeff Duncan heard this, and he heard that this guy you're looking at on the screen, Al-Harbi, was a person of interest. And then all of a sudden, he's a person of disappearance.
Yes.
Let's roll. Whenever you're ready to roll, Janet, I'll show you what's happening. And here we go. Nope, no audio. Okay.
Okay.
We'll just tell you what
Well,
happened.
Yeah,
we'll
he's
just tell
questioning her. I gotta tell you, Napolitano told Rep. Duncan that as she understood it, the man was not technically a person of interest or a suspect, and this is an example of why it is so important to let law enforcement do its job. And Duncan said, I want them to do their job. Wouldn't you agree with me that it's negligent for us as an American administration to deport someone who was reportedly at the scene of the bombing, and we're going to deport him not to be able to question him anymore? And she says, I am not going to answer that question. It is so full of misstatements and misapprehension that it's just not worthy of an answer.
Yeah, she's
That's our
head of
head of Homeland Security.
Yep. Now the plot thickens. Don't worry about it. We're not going to roll it now. The plot thickens because as of yesterday, no, we don't need it now. As of yesterday, we're starting to hit the clock here. As of yesterday, this kid, young guy, I got to see his name, Al Harvey, was being deported, voluntarily being deported. Now we're starting to hear today in the news cycle and through various sources that the government is walking that back, that he's not really being deported. But there were two weird developments in the White House yesterday. And folks, whenever you come to the issue of Saudi Arabia, you've got to...
It gets weird.
Yeah, you've got to understand, the Saudi Arabia is not our friend. They are not our friend. They're using billions and billions and billions of dollars to insinuate Sharia-compliant Islam, Wahhabist Islam, the purest form of Islam possible through the institutional levels of the United States of America, whether it be through political influence, with huge law firms being scooped up by the Saudis to represent Saudi interests on Capitol Hill, whether it's in the academy, the Saudis funding chairs that will be teaching for the next 20, 30 years and be teaching the diplomats at Georgetown and other illustrious
fantastic
schools.
Not to mention just the thousands and thousands of students who sign up for these courses, who go through the international studies programs and things like that, and end up just getting totally indoctrinated.
And we haven't gotten to the mosques yet. They fund something like 90% through the North American Islamic Trust, which is a big bank basically for funding mosques. Not only funding mosques, but holding the deeds to mosques.
Sharia compliant finance.
Well, it's a beautiful structure because it's so critical. The Saudis are so intent on having Sharia compliant mosques and Islamic centers that they say, we'll fund it. We'll give you, Mike. We'll give you the money. The Saudis say, you want a mosque in South Dakota? You want a mosque in New Orleans? You want a mosque in Los Angeles? We'll give you the money for it. You teach our agenda, our material, Syed Qutb, Yosef Qaradari. You teach all of our stuff. And just to make sure, we'll hold the deed. So we'll build it for you. Maybe you throw a little bit of money in, but we hold the deed. And the deeds for the mosques are held by NATE, North American Islamic Trust.
And they also send...
and they hold it because if the mosque goes off the reservation...
No deed for you.
They throw everybody out. We own the property, you're out.
No imams.
This is what happened to Zuhdi Jasser in Phoenix. When he started trying to be a reformer, they threw him out of his own mosque because he had no standing anymore. They got people in that overruled him.
They also have the traveling imams that, the true Wahhabists that go around to all of the affiliated mosques and as guest speakers. And I tend to think someone as, monitors to make sure that it is the halal Wahhab.
Well, anyhow, Obama and Kerry met for an unpublished meeting with the Saudi foreign minister.
A what?
Unpublished meeting. It wasn't on Obama's calendar.
This was yesterday. This was during the whole run-up of Al-Harbi, the young guy,
This was 2 days ago.
2 days ago. Okay, so
Yeah.
today's Thursday. So on Tuesday, when the young guy who got burned in the explosion, who was a person of interest, whose family has ties to Al-Qaeda, and the agencies wanted to scoop him up and start questioning him.
Well, this was originally Kerry's meeting with the foreign minister was supposed to be a public
Event. right.
public event, and then it was suddenly closed to press coverage Tuesday morning, and then Obama.
We don't need no cameras.
And then Obama
The most
added
transparent
the
administration.
two of them to his schedule because this was not published. This was not published on the White House.
All right, so
logs of
all right,
Obama's calendar.
Let's give the administration the benefit of the doubt. They there's some high level stuff going on, but this individual that all law enforcement wanted to talk to, all of a sudden hands off because he's going bye-bye. He's being deported. Now I've been
Exactly.
involved. I had a friend from Vietnam who escaped the government,
Right.
came here to live. And the United States government tried for almost 15 years to deport him. That's how hard
Yeah.
it is to deport
Well,
somebody.
you can't even deport.
A convict.
You can't even deport a convict from Arizona to Mexico.
And this guy got on the deportation shuttle express, the Orient deportation
Right.
express,
Right.
in 2 hours. No, that
Yeah.
was the Saudis basically saying, "We're bringing our boy home. Keep your hands off our boy."
And then the White House and the State Department said that the three of them just discussed Syria.
And this isn't necessarily because Saudi Arabia. This isn't necessarily because Saudi Arabia is so kind and gentle. They want to take the young kid back home so he can, eat falafel or whatever. It's probably they got a call from top Al-Qaeda tribe leaders and said, "Get our boy, or we're going to blow up Prince Alawi bin Talal. We're going after you." That's how they work. They use threat against these guys. This is a developing story. We have some weird stuff going on in the White House with the Saudis. We have this 17, 18, 20-year-old kid, whatever he is,
20.
maybe going back, maybe not. Tomorrow, on tomorrow's show, we're going to deal with Muslim Day up in Tallahassee. We've told you all about it. We've got an unbelievable conclusion to the story. We have some great
So
video
you're going
for
to interview
tomorrow.
Damon for that.
We're going to interview one of our guys for that. So we'll have that tomorrow on Friday, the 19th. That's a big day. The 19th, I believe, was...
Was that Waco?
yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was. And I have... just about 1 minute. So we'll do that tomorrow. Tallahassee Day, Muslim Day up in Tallahassee. But Monday, we're launching our Southern Poverty Law Center investigative expose. We'll have experts in every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We're going to expose the Southern Poverty Law Center for the bogus organization that it is. It's a hedge fund with about $250 million. And but each day next week, we'll give you a Boston Massacre update and a Saudi update. This is a developing story, a very important story. But that's it, kids. We only have a few seconds left. You want to say goodbye?
I'll say goodbye.
You guys want to say goodbye?
Thank you for watching. And check out those photos and see if you know those guys.
Go to FBI.gov, everybody. Please,
Yeah.
5 seconds, Imam. What do you think?
Crazy. I hope it is not a Muslim because I'm afraid of backlash.
Yes, backlash. And there will be backlash. Let me
Allah
tell you.
Akbar.
Justice from President Obama. That's what it'll be. All right, goodbye, everybody. See you tomorrow, Friday.
Thank you.
You're welcome.